Alright, so now that we've made a slight detour away from the project media that we've been using for color, let's dive back into one of the other things you might be doing towards the end of your project, which is captioning your material. Let's go ahead and go back up to our projects over here, and we'll go to our sample sequence number 1. This was from earlier on in the training, and we'll go ahead and hit play.
Yep. Dead.
He's yep dead. I remember those lines. So let's say we wanted to create captions here. I'm not talking about text on the screen. I'm talking about the actual closed caption that we're going to create a caption sidecar file with later, in which to submit to places like iTunes or upload it along with your video onto YouTube so that people can watch it with the text. Now in this day and age, pretty much 70% of video, you might say, on Facebook, people end up watching without the audio on. So it's really important that you have your videos captioned these days. Captions are industry files that have formatting standards, and they must be met and adhered to, and in a lot of ways they're sort of notoriously difficult to do that in other programs. Titling, subtitling, captioning in things like Premiere and Avid can be a little kind of weird and wonky, but in Final Cut Pro they've kind of made it a little bit easier. Now, Final Cut Pro supports both the CEA 608 caption standard for broadcast and web video, as well as the ITT format for iTunes. They have their site-specific format. Now, if we go up over here to Edit, and we go down to Captions, and we go to Add Caption, you'll see that we got a new track over here on the top of your timeline. And if you click down on this right over here, you'll see right now we're in the iTunes different format, and we are in English. If we were to click on Edit Roles down over here, you'll see that this is right next to the media roles. We've been in this little panel before, but we've never clicked over to captions. We have only the iTunes caption right over here. But if we wanted to add another one, let's say a CEA 608 for broadcast, we could do that as well. And now when you hit apply, so that when you come down over here, you can right click over here, and you'll see that you could change this over to the CEA if you wanted to. It'll warn you that you're converting to a different format. Double click on that, you'll see now we're CEA 608. So let's say we wanted to, right over here, he's dead. Yep, there's our line of dialogue right there. Go ahead and hit play.
Yep. Dead.
I had that the wrong way around. Let's go ahead and, yep, dead. And as you see,
Dead.
I want to extend this a little bit longer, and that plays a little bit longer. And we go down here to the next line.
Anyone? No. Not that I know.
Did anyone know? Not that I know of. So you could either copy and paste this guy over here, double click on that, select all that. No, not that I know of. Hit enter. So there you go. You've got additional titles, and you could paste another one over here.
No knocks on the door? Nope.
No knocks on the door. Nope. No knocks on the door. Nope.
Nope. No phone calls?
And no phone calls. So there you have it, 4 little captions, as you can see. And now if you select one, come up over here into the inspector, you'll see you have different options, your alignment, your placement. You can move this to different places on the screen. Let's say you had something going on in the bottom, like the lower third, you can move that up to the top over there. You can move it down over to the right, back to the bottom, etc. You can also change how it comes on, if it just pops on, paints on, rolls up. I would leave this to the default. Again, they're pretty strict with formatting for closed captionings in a lot of ways. Also, you can change the text color, the opacity of the background. As you can see, you can have no black in the background, a little gray, and then full black over there. Text background and timing as well. Now let's say you were in the timeline, you didn't have a caption already in here to copy and paste. You can simply hit Option C, and that'll put a default caption in here in the CEA 608 format. Again, you could always change that over there to ITT if you wanted to. And as you did that, you'll see that a new line was drawn over here, because now that's a separate track of closed captioning. This would be exported separately and would be for different reasons. Let's say we had created a bunch of subtitles or captions over here, and we know that we were going to have to duplicate this into a new language, like let's say we were dubbing it in Italian. We go ahead and do that right there, and it'll create an additional caption line right here, and literally read the English on top and type the Italian down on the bottom over here, and then you could export that as your Italian language captions. Now if you wanted to select them all and right click duplicate captions, you could do that as well. You don't have to do it one at a time. Now let's say you were doing a little editing over here and you wanted to actually start playing the timeline behind without getting out of the text editor here for the subtitling. If you were to hit the J, the K, or the L button, obviously that just creates that text there. But if you were to hold down the Control key and hit your L, it does actually start playing in the background.
No knocks on the door? Nope. No phone calls?
It's on the door. And you could then, let's say you wanted to split these two lines up over here rather than having it be on one caption. You can right click, split captions right there. And as you can see, you now have 3 separate captions. Now let's say you wanted to add some sort of a special character into here, like a copyright symbol or something like that. You would simply come up over here into the inspector, hit this little drop down over here, and go to special characters. You've got registered trademark, degrees. Now let's say you had 2 characters talking at the same time and you need one caption on the left, one caption on the right. What you can do is click on this little triangle drop down, click add text field, go ahead, second dialogue here. And if we go ahead and move this guy, let's say, over to the right, and we come down over here, no knocks, boom, we can move this guy, let's see where it is over there. So this is a way to have 2 separate dialogue fields of closed captioning within the same frame. Now once you have your captions all ready to go and you want to export them, you can either go up to File, Export Captions. It'll bring up this screen and you can choose which one of these captions you want to actually export. You can do all of them, you can select just a couple of them, and you can choose on your computer where you want to put them to and hit export. Caption was successful, go ahead and hit show, and as you'll see you have some .scc files. These are standard caption files that you can import and upload along with videos in places like YouTube, and like I said, if you needed to do an iTunes version one, you would just go to File, Export Captions. In this instance you would only select the one ITT, iTunes. You would go ahead and hit export. Caption exported successful, hit show, and as you can see you have the ITT, the iTunes version of the captions as well. So there you have it guys, that's Captions, a quick run through in Final Cut Pro X. Let's move on to the last section of exporting your actual project.